Hello, I'm Maginpanic, and today we're gonna animate in a very unusual way. Today we're gonna animate straight backwards. I just invented that. So usually we do animation pose to pose, which means we do first frame, fifth frame, ninth frame, and we do in-betweens, or we animate straight ahead, so we do first frame, second, third, fourth, and so on. So we are just moving one by one. Today we're gonna do exactly the same, but from the back. We're gonna start on the last frame of the animation, and we're gonna animate straight backwards to the very beginning of the animation. Today we're gonna animate water splash. I highly advise you to do exactly the same thing on your own, because to be honest, I learned a lot and it created so many cool shapes that I've never thought about. Like, it's very interesting, and breaking apart the effect that you know because you did it so many times and flip it upside down to understand how to do it from the very end of the animation, it is helpful and interesting, so I advise you to do it. There will be 3 rules to make this animation. The first rule is that we are starting from the very last frame of the animation. So let's say we're gonna make 20 frames and we're gonna start on the frame 20, and then we're gonna move to the very beginning of the animation. Second rule will be that the frame that we are working on have to be the last frame of this animation. This will prevent like getting back, fixing the frames and ruin that straight backwards kind of thing. So if we are at frame 15, we cannot fix frame 16. To make fixes on the previous frame, we have to delete the current frame, get back and do those fixes. You know what I mean? If you want to fix something 3 frames before, you have to delete 3 frames. That are 2 rules. The third rule is that you are allowed to make some guides. So you can make like a grid that will stay on the screen all the time, or like curves to make the arcs of how the things will move or whatever. Without further ado, let's start this animation. So at the very beginning, as I mentioned, I created some guides for myself, as well as I was thinking how to do it, because it is very hard. To be honest, it is my second attempt. I did it the same day, but a little later after studying the splashes a little more. So as you can see, I'm starting from the very last frame of the animation. And at some point I decided to start doing those ripple effect at the surface that will start rising from nothing, from scratch. It is very complicated to go around with your head to understand how this should work. And because this is very hard, to me it was very hard. Maybe it is super easy for you, but for me it was a very hard thing to think backwards, actually think about all those timings where things should appear, because there is no real reason why they are appearing. Like, this is the first splash that's ending, the ripples at the very edges, and I had to like bring it just right now because I thought it will be a good idea to bring them right now. And those like wrinkles in the water right here, super weird shapes. Like, you know, I knew that the water will be dragged down, of course, and some water will go slower, so it will do this type of effect. But well, doing it straight ahead, I will never thought about shapes like this. Like, this is something that would never happen. But because I did this, let's call it challenge, I invented those shapes the way it is, and I'm very happy about them because it's very interesting. it was hard. It was hard. As I mentioned, it's my second try. On the first try, I spent about 30 minutes and it was complete trash. Like, to be honest, it was nothing like this one. But after studying a little more when things should appear, kind of studying how the shape could look like when they are from back to start, I did the second attempt, which you can see on the screen, and this one took me 1.5 hours to finish. 3 times longer than the trash thing I did, but it was worth it. As you can see, I started appearing some like droplets that, in my opinion, at the time that I was animating it, I thought they might detach from this ring that will be created on the very top, but I couldn't manage to do that, and because of that they just came straight into the center of the splash, something that I would never animate if I would animate it in a normal way. But because I did this, I might add some droplets that would come out from the center of the splash. Why not? I've never done that, honestly, and it was very, very cool. Those wrinkles here, there are just too many of them, and because there are too many of them, it's super cool. I really liked the way it looked like. It was very, very interesting, and that was the moment when I started dragging up this entire effect. Like, you have to at some point go up and create that splash that we know the shape of the splash very, very well. As you can see, those little wrinkles will start kind of slowing down, and all these shapes should be more simple. So each and every frame that I'm drawing, I'm trying to simplify those shapes because I need to create a cool and nice water splash that you'll see in couple frames. So where those wrinkles have the very top, I tried to slow down at those points and simplify all those nuances that was very out from that. And as you can see, a little bit of water started dripping on the right side, and then it's not dripping. Thinking about this from the back, it's impossible, honestly. Like, I'm very happy with the result, but it was impossible. So I really advise you to try this, because it's really complicated and fun. Like, and by fun I mean I was struggling the most of the time. It wasn't easy, wasn't at all. And as you can see, those droplets are coming into the water splash, and the water splash is getting smaller. I was a couple frames before at the very top where the splash will go, and then I'm going down. I did those guides and I thought that I will put the ball inside at an angle that you can see, and I thought the right side of the splash will be bigger, but it was impossible to think about this extra thing when I was animating it. It was very hard, like insane. I was speeding up some animation because, well, the result, as you can see, is very slow. Like, it's unnatural to me. I like it, I like the effect, but it was super slow. So what I did, I just grabbed a couple of the frames, and from 2s I made them 1s. So I speed up some parts of it, and because some parts of it are sped up, it is looking weird. So I thought, okay, like, I like the timing, but there is something that's speeding up a little bit too much. So I just erased a couple of frames. At the very beginning, this speeding up thing is okay, but then it should be like constant on 2s, okay? So I erase this frame, and so on to make it all on 2s from 10th frame on my timeline, and that was the result. this is it. So thank you so much for watching, and well, if you have any ideas what I could animate in this particular way, straight backwards, any effect, just leave a comment below, or if you have any suggestion for the videos on this channel, that would be cool, because I haven't uploaded for a long. Anyways, have a good day and see you around. Cheers!